Back to school season is right around the corner, and middle school can feel like a roller coaster for kids, parents, and teachers alike. I've noticed that the biggest worries often revolve around this challenging time. From shifting friendships and evolving identities to character development and preparing for an uncertain future, middle school can be tough for everyone involved. It's no surprise that many parents feel overwhelmed at this stage. You're helping your child deal with challenges of adolescence. You may find yourself questioning when to introduce a phone, allow social media, or let them use public transportation. How involved should you be in their homework? Should you monitor their online activities, help them make friends, or stay in touch with their teachers? How can you tell if your child has learning or attention issues? And how much independence should you give them? And what's the best way to discipline? You might also wonder how to support them in developing qualities like kindness, honesty, and responsibility. The list of concerns can feel endless. But most importantly, you might be curious why these years seem like a constant emotional roller coaster. Why does it feel like every day brings new hurdles? It's a time of big changes for both kids and parents. So in this video, I'll explore why middle school is so incredibly hard. Before we dive into this video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It really helps support the channel and allows me to keep bringing you content that can make a difference. For consultations and other personalized services, check out the links in the description. Let's get right into it. So, what makes these middle school years, often called tweenhood, so challenging? In today's video, I'll explore why these years can be so tough and how understanding these factors can help both parents and students navigate this intense phase with greater insight and empathy. Keep in mind, middle school can be tough for anyone. Even celebrities have shared their struggles from their middle school years. Emma Watson, for example, has spoken about the difficulties she faced, including the pressures of fame, bullying, and balancing her acting career with her education. Similarly, Taylor Swift has been open about her middle school experiences, including challenges with fitting in and managing school while pursuing her music career. So let's begin and uncover why these middle school years are so challenging for everyone involved. Middle school years can feel like a double-edged sword. Adolescents are not only navigating puberty, but also going through major school transitions. The main reason this phase is so challenging is that it coincides with the onset of puberty. As puberty begins, kids experience major physical changes, including growth spurts. At this stage, their problem-solving and thinking skills develop rapidly. While increased cognitive abilities lead to more complex thinking, there's often a clash between adult reasoning and youthful desires, leading to what G. Stanley Hall described as a time of storm and stress. That's why they might want to act like adults while still feeling like children. You'll also notice they are becoming more self-aware and self-conscious. Now, the impact of these changes is significant. Hormonal shifts during puberty can lead to mood swings, heightened emotions, and increased sensitivity. You might have seen your middle schooler going through emotional upheaval during these years. This is due to these biological changes. They are adjusting to their changing bodies and wondering how things will turn out. Puberty can also cause distractions and loss of focus, often referred to as brain fog. So, the adolescent brain undergoes significant changes, especially in areas related to impulse control, emotional regulation, and decision making. Specifically, the prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for these functions, is still maturing during these years. This developmental lag can result in heightened emotional responses, difficulty managing stress, and susceptibility to peer pressure. You might notice middle schoolers acting impulsively, like talking during class and disrupting learning because their impulse control is still developing. This can also lead to social conflicts or issues in relationships. Research shows that developmental changes associated with puberty are linked to various challenges, including academic, behavioral, psychological, and social outcomes, such as mental health difficulties, eating disorders, and substance abuse. So it's crucial to pay attention to this period. If you need tips on helping your kids thrive during this time, check out the links in the description. As I mentioned, middle school can be a double-edged sword. Besides navigating biological changes, Adolescents also face significant school transitions. Regarding the transition from elementary to middle school, there are two key challenges involved. First, middle schools often have a developmental mismatch with the developmental stage of children they teach. At this stage, kids' cognitive abilities are growing, but middle schools typically offer fewer opportunities for decision making and lower levels of cognitive involvement, all while presenting a more complex social environment. In addition to the developmental mismatch, there's also the challenge of adjusting to a new school environment. Adolescents have to adapt to a setting that is not only unfamiliar, but also larger, more academically demanding, and more impersonal than their previous school. In elementary school, students usually have one teacher for the entire year who covers every subject, and they stay in the same classroom. In contrast, middle schools have multiple teachers, with a focus shifting from mastering specific tasks to achieving grades and excelling academically. This transition also involves more rigorous coursework and balancing extracurricular activities with academic responsibilities. Students are now responsible for managing their homework and classwork independently. Besides being academically demanding, the move to middle school also introduces heightened social pressures. Kids have to navigate changing friendships and make new ones, which can be exciting but also stressful. Now let's explore what research tells us about these challenges. Studies reveal that children often feel anxious about the academic demands, peer approval, and potential bullying. It turns out their perceptions of middle school can play a crucial role in their engagement levels, which in turn affects their academic achievement. When kids are anxious or unhappy, they often lose interest in academics. This decreased motivation and self confidence can lead to poor grades, which only increase their self doubt and can start a downward spiral. Research shows that these struggles during middle school are linked to a range of negative outcomes, including disciplinary issues, loneliness, mental health problems, declines in self esteem, academic performance, and overall well being. I have written a research paper about the transition from middle to high school. The link is in the description, where I discuss how, irrespective of the type of transition, change of school invariably affects achievement. Now that we have tackled how pubertal and school changes make middle school tough, let's dive into another key aspect: identity formation. During these years, adolescents are navigating the crucial stage of identity formation. They're on a quest to discover who they are and establish their own identity separate from their parents. This search for self can bring about confusion, self doubt, and emotional ups and downs, making middle school even more challenging. You might be familiar with Erikson's theory of psychosocial development, which outlines how personality evolves through different stages. Each stage involves a conflict that's a turning point in development. When you successfully navigate these conflicts, you gain psychological strengths that benefit you throughout life. However, failing to address these conflicts effectively can leave you lacking essential skills for a strong sense of self. The stage during middle school is critical for forming a personal identity that will influence behavior and development well into adulthood. Tweens and teens need to explore their sense of self and identity. Those who get the right encouragement, reinforcement, and support during this exploration are likely to emerge with a strong sense of self. Conversely, those who are unsure about their beliefs and desires may feel insecure and confused about themselves and their future. Building on the challenges we have discussed, another major factor is social comparison and peer influence. Middle school is a time filled with social pressures and emotional ups and downs, making it tough for students, their families, and teachers alike. A big part of why this period can be turbulent is the intense pressure to fit in and assert independence. Many middle schoolers strive to blend in with their peer group. You might have observed they're highly sensitive to what others think and overly focused on gaining approval. So, popularity can become a significant concern. If we constantly compare them to their peers, it can lead to self doubt and insecurity, impacting their self confidence and self esteem. Students might prioritize their social lives over schoolwork, which can sometimes lead to risky behaviors and other issues like staying up late texting or developing unhealthy eating habits. On top of this, The social dynamics of adolescence, including friendships and romantic relationships, can add even more stress to their lives. The physical changes they are going through can create pressure to engage in activities they're not quite ready for just to fit in. Most importantly, during these years, certain social cruelty behaviors become more common, such as teasing, exclusion, bullying, rumor spreading, and ganging up. For instance, with the rise of digital communication, cyberbullying has become a major concern that can seriously affect their well being. I remember a friend's daughter was deeply upset because her best friend since childhood was moving to a different school. She shared how her friend had started bossing her around. She criticized her appearance and suggested she lose weight and wear makeup. It made me realize that kids at this age often feel a strong need to fit in and be accepted by peers they believe will boost their social status. As a result, some kids may bully others while others become targets of bullying. Moving on to the next reason, parental expectations and pressure. Modern parents often have high expectations for their children, influenced by societal standards and competitive educational environments. Families and school staff alike push students towards success and future goals. This pressure can lead to increased stress and anxiety for adolescents. They may feel they need to meet their parents' expectations while managing their own developmental challenges. At the same time, you might reduce your involvement, thinking your child is now independent. However, middle schoolers still need significant parental support and attention. I discussed this topic in more detail in my video, What Tweens Want Most for Their Well-Being. Check out the link right here. It's definitely worth a watch. How can we forget the impact of digital and social media? The pervasive use of social media has introduced new challenges for adolescents. Platforms like Instagram and TikTok often promote unrealistic standards of beauty and success, which can lead to increased anxiety, body image issues, and social comparison. On top of this, research shows that frequent social media use is linked to higher levels of depression and anxiety in teenagers. Related to this, let's talk about FOMO, fear of missing out. FOMO is a psychological phenomenon where individuals feel anxious about missing out on social events or experiences. And guess what? Social media only cranks up the volume on FOMO. When tweens and teens see perfectly curated posts of their peers having fun or achieving success, they might feel left out or less accomplished themselves. Imagine scrolling through dozens of photos from a weekend party that you weren't invited to. It's no wonder some tweens and teens might feel a pang of exclusion. Studies have shown that FOMO can seriously impact mental health, increasing feelings of loneliness and inadequacy. As if that wasn't enough, tweens today are also navigating increasingly complex social identities and diversity issues. They're grappling with questions related to race, gender, sexuality, and inclusion. Imagine a tween trying to figure out where they fit in while also dealing with questions about the identity and how they're perceived by others. This added layer of mental pressure and emotional strain, coupled with a strong desire for acceptance, can significantly impact their mental health and well being. It's a lot to handle on top of everything else. Finally, let's uncover a surprising twist: the negative portrayals of middle school in media. Media often highlights the tough, awkward, and challenging aspects of middle school. Books, movies, and TV shows can paint a pretty grim picture with characters who are overly pessimistic and constantly complaining. Have you read the book The Diary of a Wimpy Kid? It follows Greg, who shares his terrible middle school experiences, reinforcing the idea that middle school is a nightmare. And it's not just books. Many movies and shows, like which was that movie I think, Mean Girls, also portray middle school as a battleground of social drama, while idealizing high school as a place where everything magically gets better. But here's the thing: these portrayals can make middle school seem worse than it might actually be. They focus on the negatives and overlook the positive experiences that can happen during these years. So, considering this, do you think it's a good idea to limit how much of this negative content your child is exposed to? After all, they're living through their own unique middle school journey and they deserve to experience it without too much added negativity. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Overall, Recognizing these challenges can help you approach this period with greater empathy and support. If you found these insights useful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It helps me create even more content that you'll find useful. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Which of these reasons resonated most with you, and what's your take on the middle school years? And if you're curious about personalized consultations, check out the links in the description below. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Ghazal Barara, your go-to expert in adolescent well-being. See you in the next video.